I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's a filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener. Here we go. St. Elmo's Fire. We will skip the commercial this time around. Let's just get right to it, dear listener.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Oh.
The 80s sounds good there.
100%.
Growing up, you don't see the writing on the wall.
Oh, I'm turning this up.
Passing by, moving straight ahead, you knew it all. But maybe sometime if you feel the pain, you'll find you're all alone. Everything has changed. Play the game. You know you can quit until it's won. Soldier on. Only you can do what must be done. You know in some way you're not like me. You're just a prisoner, and you're trying to break free. I can see a new horizon underneath the blazing sky. I'll be where the eagles flying higher and higher. Gonna be a man in motion. All I need is narrow.
I feel like I heard this in a soundtrack.
Future's a lion, St. Elmo's fire. Burning up, don't know just how far that I can go. Soon be home, only just a few miles down the road. I can make it.
Okay.
It's the 80s, baby.
I'm always gonna have
80s music is the best,
a
bro.
love for that sound.
I wish we were like older so that we could have like experienced that as like teenagers, man.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
That would have been really cool.
But I think like
That
my
would've been
family
really
was always
badass.
well, we grew up in Maine and everybody's late to the party just anyway in Maine. And when you're a religious family that doesn't listen to music, when you finally do get around to it, you're even later than late. So I remember this sound. Does anybody else think he sounds like Phil Collins?
Yeah, I think a lot of those dudes sounded like, that was the 80s sound, man. Everybody was trying to sound like that.
Yeah.
Oh, dudes just sang with a lot. It's just like really deep emotion. Set on those fire.
So this is pretty cool. This is not something that we usually do, but we were requested by the DJ for us to do this. There's some song facts about this. It says John Parr told us how this song came together. I wrote the lyric when we were working on the movie. The name of the movie was Man in Motion, I think. Okay.
Well, St. Elmo's Fire is the name of the movie itself.
For the movie St. Elmo's Fire. I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, it's the name of the movie itself.
Okay, so it's about a Canadian athlete named Rick Hansen who was paralyzed from the waist down after a car crash when he was only 15 years old. So John Parr wrote the lyric when he was working on the movie. David showed me a video of Rick Hansen, and I was inspired to write the story of his planned epic journey to circumnavigate the globe in his wheelchair. I wrote the lyric ambiguously, so the film company would think all I need is these pair of wheels, referring to Demi Moore's Jeep, when actually I was referring to Rick's wheelchair. Or for once in his life, a man has his time actually refers to when Rick would end his journey wheeling back into Vancouver with 1 million people lining the streets, not when Emilio Estevez finally kisses Andy McDowell. But I thought that was really cool, like, the song itself, obviously, because it had the sound from the 80s, I already was vibing with it and liked it. And it had that sort of pull you back in time sort of feel. And then on top of that, seeing what the song was about and that he wrote it about someone in that situation.
So somebody in the movie got paralyzed?
No, David Foster and John Parr wrote this song specifically. The song itself is about a Canadian athlete. It's literally an athlete.
Okay.
Rick Hansen, who was paralyzed from the waist down after a car crash when he was 15. On March 21st, holy shit, it just passed, 1985, the year I was born, Hansen began his Man in Motion tour, traveling about 70 miles a day to raise money for spinal cord research. At first, Hansen had trouble getting media attention and donations, but when this song was released with the Man in Motion, with the movie in June, it became his anthem, and the song rose up in the charts. Interest in Hansen's journey grew. By the time the Man in Motion tour was completed on May 22nd, 1987, Hansen had put over 40,000 kilometers on his wheelchair in 34 countries on 4 continents, raising $26 million. He became a national hero in Canada, where he is closely associated with this song. That's so cool.
Okay, so you two haven't heard of St. Elmo's Fire?
No. That actually, it's probably a movie that we could watch with the kids.
I guess it's a coming of age movie, but
for me, okay, so when I was a kid, because we were so restricted on media, there were a few movies that we were allowed to watch, and one of them was about Johnny Erickson Tata, and she dives off a diving board, and she essentially snaps her neck because she hits something, and she's paralyzed. Well, she's definitely paralyzed from the waist down, but she's mostly paralyzed. She can move her arms a little bit.
Oh, really?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember even in the movie, she called her boyfriend over, and she had she was holding a chip, and she brought it up to her mouth, but he thought she was going to be walking, and he brought her skates or something, and he ends up getting angry with her and breaking it off. It was pretty terrible. But ever since I saw that movie, I think when I was 12, I was probably the most compassionate I've ever been in my life. I don't know. And that was
when
about
you were vegan, right?
No, that's when I wanted to be. Well, it did start shortly after that. But anyway,
your veganism?
Yeah, but that wasn't so much I feel bad for the animals. It was just I was grossed out that here we are Like watching people like rip meat in their teeth, like.
Yeah, I never really had a
Roadkill,
problem with that
ugh.
until you started bringing that up.
Just really gross.
So every time that I get grossed out by that, I get a little bit more angry at you. So I'm like, freaking Soraya.
Thanks, babe.
Freaking Soraya. I really do. I get really angry at you when that happens.
Oh, yeah, but he does gross things. Like, we pray before supper, and then he's like, thank you, God, for this pig who sacrificed its life so we can consume it.
Yeah, but I genuinely mean that, though. Like,
Yeah, but now I'm
shouting
thinking
I'm
about
shouting
a-
out the homie.
Now I'm thinking about a pig
Shouts the pig.
that's been killed, and I literally, when I'm eating anything in regards to a pig, I don't want to think about that I'm eating a pig.
Well, or the, what do you call it? You know, I'll say, you know, rest in peace to the cow.
Yeah, I
Shout out
know.
to the
It's
cow.
just gross.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
really gross. Because I want to like disassociate from the fact that it's actually a body that we're eating. It's just gross. to
Well,
me.
I didn't say the body. I
But
was just
when
talking
you
about
say
the
that,
cow,
that's what
you know,
happens.
himself, the homie.
Yeah, and you're thinking about the homie as he's laying on the table. It's just hard to, separate the two. Ew. Anyway, so around that time, that's when I saw that Johnny Erickson Tata. It was basically like a movie documentary sort of thing, and my sister got paranoid that she was going to get paralyzed. And I was not so much paranoid about it. I did think, wow, I mean, that could happen. But I just felt so bad for her, but I was so inspired by the fact that she didn't allow her depression on the matter to keep her from doing things. Like, she paints with her mouth, and she goes around and she does tours and she writes books. And like one of the times, I guess she had a really crazy experience when somebody was pushing her wheelchair out of a certain location, and they were running, and they slipped on the ice, and the entire wheelchair flipped over, and she was just face first in the ice. She was bleeding, and she could not get herself up. And like, everybody's like looking at her, and nobody knows really what to do. Like, how do we pick her up? Like sometimes when somebody falls, you're like, you can't just like move them. You have
Yeah.
to wait for the professionals to get there.
Yeah.
And she like had such a moment of like just total and complete humiliation that that was like where God like really like was like broke that part of her. So then she like became like, from that experience, she became a different person, and like it really, really changed her for the better. And then she was no longer so humiliated by her state after that happened. So it looked like some, obviously horrible event, and it was, but she pulled something really good from it. And it was able to help her for the rest of her life. So people's stories like that, I have always found to be extremely inspiring. So the fact that this guy got a hold of that story and he was inspired to write a song about it, and then sing it in that 80s sound, like, I really, 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 really like this.
I like that the 80s, like, people, I feel like now, especially after Nirvana, like, people don't write music to like purposely inspire you anymore. Like this song, it's like, don't quit until it's over. Soldier on. Only you can do what must needs to be done. Mm-hmm. It just seemed like the '80s people were a lot more like out about like, I want to positively inspire you with this song. I'm not saying that people were not positively inspired by Nirvana. Obviously they were. It's just a different kind of inspiration. But it's just like, people didn't have a problem with like writing music and be like, okay, this is gonna be the inspiring one. Like, Danger Zone, like all the shit that like, oh yeah, like it's a danger zone. We gotta keep going. I'm gonna be a hero. I'm gonna be the what do you call it? Like, what's the name of that one? It was
No, I have Enrique Iglesias, Let Me Be Your Hero, in my mind. No, that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Karate Kid. That was the theme song. Karate Kid.
Okay.
He's gonna be a hero.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
or the Rocky theme song.
holy shit! I'm echoing. No.
I Have a Tiger.
Stuff like that. Yeah, it was just, they were like mad positive, and I think people don't want to be like that anymore for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, let's think about it. Let's think. What time period? Obviously, it was the 70s. That was before the 80s. But like, what was the 70s like? Like, do you think that had any bearing on the music of the 80s?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that like the hair metal just was so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
the
dudes,
neon.
huh?
And then with the neon stuff.
The neon shit, and the guys were doing like, you know,
The
karate
hair,
kicks
like,
while
out
they
on
were
the
playing guitar
sides.
and all that shit.
I
They had the
seriously-
little frillies on the side. Like the shit was just too much, man. And Kurt was like, "Nah, bro." And then Nirvana came in and just murdered the entire genre. Like everybody was like, "Okay, we got to be upset now. We got to be sad now." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just completely like I don't know. But which obviously you need bands like Nirvana. You need even like bands like Korn, like Misery and all that. But like that, like I am going purposely to be corny. I'm going to inspire you. You're going to do some corny shit. It's going to be cool. We're going to play some chords. And
it was
gonna make you
cool then.
feel like running and shit. Like it was just really. I wish like I could have grown up in the '80s, man. Like as a teenager, like that shit would have been. It'd have been fun to go to the gym. Like everything was just I don't know. And maybe I'm like you know. We came into consciousness like at the end of that era. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, whatever. But I just love that sound. I love that sound. I'll always love that sound. Tasco goes, I found WAP to be very inspirational. Exactly.
Oh my god.
That's what we have now. You know, we went from private dancer to WAP.
Oh
Like,
man.
No. No, Cardi, no.
Oh man.
But
no,
yeah.
Stop.
I like the fact that you have like really awesome, inspiring music, and that they were not afraid to lay that shit down on the line.
Yeah.
The hair metal,
Yeah.
I think, that could go, but that part I miss. If there was a band that brought that style back, like they would be huge to me. Like
I thought you were saying they would be
I would
huge.
patronize their music immediately.
Oh man. All right. So I think this is a great starter, especially, you know, for all the reasons we just listed off. Super meaningful song. I would listen to. I would. Especially like if we were on a drive, the windows down. It'd be fun in a convertible.
Yes, it would be. It would be fun in a convertible.
The only thing about convertibles is your hair really becomes quite a mess. It's the same thing with riding on a motorcycle.
Mine wouldn't.
Yours wouldn't. You'd be fine.
I would be
It's like
I would be
this
completely
tangled
fine.
rat's nest mess at the end on the other side. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's I'm gonna give this song. I'm scoring this one very high. It's an 8.9. I mean a 9.8. I really enjoyed it, and I don't think I would score it that high if I didn't feel the emotion that went along with it. Like I said, it connects me to the Johnny Erickson Tada story, and then it also connects me to that sound. Like, so because we couldn't listen to music, when we got in the car, for some reason my dad would always turn on the radio, and he would put on the Christian station, and I would bring my little tape recorder, and I would go into the back seat, and I would put my tape recorder by the speaker. And as soon as a song started that I liked, I'd hit record. So I would have like a couple songs that I would like listen to at night, because it was a little bit of a loophole, but at the same time it wasn't, because my parents were the ones that put it on. So yeah, I would like sneak it in my room at night, and I'd be like listening to my music on my little. That thing was so fun, that little tape recorder. If I could find those tapes, you would get such a kick out of them.
Hold on for a second.
So when I had my tape recorder, I used to take it and they can't hear all that you're listening to, right?
Wait, say that again?
They can't hear what you're listening to, right? Because you're trying to get the volumes right.
No, I'm pretty sure they could hear what I was listening to.
Oh.
But, go ahead, continue.
I used to like to do all this acting stuff with my recorder.
Go ahead. Go.
I'll just wait until you're done starting all of that.
No, go ahead, talk.
Because it's actually getting on my nerves. So when you're done, then I'll talk. I don't want to keep getting interrupted.
All right, go ahead.
So
You're the one that pointed out to me to fix the mic, but go ahead.
yeah,
Go
but
for it.
we're just gonna score the song, and then you can fuck around with it.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, so I would do like all these like different recordings and like act all these different voices in these little plays. So if we could get our hands on some of those tapes, it would have been fun to have, but I have no idea where they landed. Anyway, so 9.8 for me. What do you give it?
About a 9.8. I liked it. I thought it was a solid song, a solid intro. It's a 9. It's a 9. I would have loved it, you know, back in the day, like back in the day. I'd probably
Danny.
give it a higher score, but I can't give it like an all-time score because it's still a little bit dated to me. Still a little bit dated to me, but
And
still a
that's
good
why it
song.
got its high score for me.
It is a 9, dear listener. Having said that, dear listener, Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.